Hello friends! Recently I decided to do something about my drafty windows. This is the spot I mainly sit at right here. There's a couch in front of this window, and in the wintertime you can really feel the cold behind this window just radiating inside. It's really not, doesn't make for a very comfortable place to sit really. Even though I have double pane windows and I have lowy glass, you know, they still don't insulate as well as say a wall would. So, I got the idea to go ahead and just do it from this Fuel Savers, The Fuel Savers, a kit of solar ideas for your home, apartment, or business. It's a book I got from the library, and it's the one that really talked me into it. Basically, it just said that if you put insulating curtains on the inside of your house, that you will save a fair amount of money by keeping the cold winter outside and the nice warm heat inside in the winter, and then in the summertime it can help block the sun from coming in and heating up your home when you don't want it to in the winter, or excuse me, in the summer. So these curtains right here I got on sale, Black Friday deal or whatever. I got them for half price, so I went ahead and put them in my whole house. So I've really noticed that it's made a big difference. I mean, it says save on home heating and cooling costs, and it also blocks out the sun in my room, which is really nice because I like to sleep a little later than the sun does, and so this has really helped me to sleep a little later than I would normally. And they really weren't expensive. I think I got these on sale for like $5 each, so they weren't too expensive to put up. So this is what they look like in the daytime. I have this one, this is a brown one, tied off to the side to let in some nice light, and then of course I have a sheer so that I can block out the nice city view I have out there of the business over there. Don't need that. Want the light but don't necessarily need the view, and I also don't want, you know, to compromise privacy, so the shears work very well. And then at night or whatever, when the sun goes down, you just put the curtains down, and it's a little harder to do with only one hand. There we go. And there you go. Supposedly they block out 100% of the light, but as you can see they do not block 100%, which is good. I don't necessarily think that's all that important, but they do block a lot of it. So if that's a concern of yours, you know, the darker colors like the dark blue and this brown color, I forget what they called it, mocha or chocolate or something, these both work very well. But in another room in my house I have the, I think, latte or something, a light brownish color, like a cream color. Those don't block the light anywhere near as well as these dark ones. But again, in my living room this isn't a concern. I mainly wanted it for the fact that it was insulating. So they hold tight to the sides. You know, my couch here will hold it, you know, tight to the bottom, and it has significantly reduced the draftiness that I feel from the window. So I would give this a big thumbs up. I really think that this works. So be more comfortable, you know, save some money without having to heat your house, you know, as much in the winter time, and then not have to cool it as much maybe in the summertime. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and thanks for watching. Hello again friends, just a real quick add-on to what I've already said about these curtains. We're actually in my bedroom right now. The idea behind it is that you want as much insulation as possible. So even if you don't want to necessarily replace your curtains with these curtains, which I'm not necessarily recommending, you know, only if you have a really drafty window would I recommend that. Unless you really want to, if you really dislike your curtains or whatever. But one thing you can do is just to add on. It's kind of like you wouldn't necessarily need to take off your shirt in order to add a jacket. You can just throw a jacket on over it. Well, you can also layer with the curtains. Again, this is my room. Nobody comes in here, so this isn't the most fashionable thing to do, but here I have my other curtains, and as you can see that let in quite a bit of light. And so when I added these, they made it much darker and easier to sleep. So my original curtains, I left them on. I just put the bar basically on the inside here on the window frame, and then I put the other curtains up with a rod on top of that. In this way, the different layers of fabrics that we have going on in here help insulate even better. So this will even keep out even more heat than if you were to just replace your curtains, just to add another layer on top of them, if that's something you would like to consider. Or if you don't necessarily want to invest in insulating curtains, but you like the idea of helping, you know, keep the cold out of your windows, one thing we used to do when we were younger is just put blankets. I know, again, this doesn't look the best, but again, this is my room. Nobody comes up here but us. So I have my original curtain right here. And then I just threw a blanket on underneath it. So it's nice and warm in here. And then outside is the frosty cold. And you can actually feel a difference inside this window than outside. And this room is actually unheated. There is no heat source to this room. So it's even warmer in here than it is obviously in the windows. So I hope these ideas were helpful to you. Multiple layerings of fabric will definitely help insulate even better, and you don't necessarily have to use special curtains or replace the ones you have. You can just add them to them or even use blankets or whatnot. But if you want to stay more comfortable in the winter and help keep that cold out, then I hope these ideas have helped you come up with some ways to stay more comfortable and save money. So thanks again.